lead. So I'm gonna give. You want to give predictions now, Gio, or you want to wait a little bit?
I think we can go ahead.
Uh,
Go ahead.
I'm not gonna disagree with the audience. I think they're right. Everybody except Derek. I think they're on it. I think it's gonna be a knockout. I just believe it's gonna come a little bit later. I'm gonna give Caleb Plant some credit. I think he's gonna. He's not as awkward as Billy Joe. He's not as slippery, I guess, in a way. But I think this guy's gonna last a little longer. I'm gonna give him a 10th round knockout by Canelo. I think he's gonna survive just enough. I think that toughness is gonna keep him in there a little bit longer than what the guys are giving him credit. But I wouldn't be surprised if he goes sooner.
7 rounds. I'm gonna give him 7 rounds. This man here, Canelo Alvarez, is gonna stop him. I don't think he'll carry him. I think he carried Billy Joe for 2-3 rounds. And when he finally landed that big punch, it was a wrap. With this one, I don't know if he'll do that. I know Chris mentioned last podcast that he might carry Plant for a few rounds, maybe try to punish him. But all I know is that Canelo, every punch is going to mean something. I don't think Caleb Plant is going to be ready for it. He's never been hit like that. This man here, Gennady Golovkin, one of the biggest punchers in the sport, one of the best chins in the sport, struggled with Canelo for 2 fights. I don't think Caleb Plant will make it a close fight. I really don't think so. I don't see it, like I kept saying last podcast, and I'm going with Canelo. 7 rounds max. 7 rounds max.
Is there any outcome in this fight that Canelo? I mean, obviously, other than an outright loss, like, is there anything that will hurt Canelo's stock?
Nothing. I think he's proven enough already. I think the most crazy outcome to me that can happen is Caleb Plant survives 12 rounds. I think that's the craziest outcome that I can think of in my mind, that I can see in my mind. He's not going to 12. He's not as tough as Callum Smith. He's not as quote-unquote slick as Billy Joe Saunders. He doesn't have the power of a Gennady Golovkin. I don't see Plant being too competitive in there this Saturday in Las Vegas.
Yeah. Obviously, I feel like, the moniker that we heard last week was like there's levels to this, right? Obviously there's a level disparity. I think Caleb is athletic enough to again make it interesting up until that knockout comes, whatever round that comes. But just to be a winner even in defeat, I think Caleb can. I mean, we saw how Deontay, that guy had a heart. I know you're not a big fan of that fight because of the skill disparity, but if Caleb can show heart and even in defeat, show some grit, land some punches, land something big on Canelo, maybe not, probably won't be able to hurt him, but if you shake him up enough, people will be like, oh, at least Caleb did something that other guys didn't. So I'm looking at least to see if he does something like that. It's been a minute since anyone has hurt Canelo. I don't think Caleb Plant has the power, but if you can at least, move that head back or land something, so the spectator can be like, Caleb Plant is something. He tried. He made it at least interesting for us. Because again, there's going to be a lot of casual eyes on this event. It's going to be a lot of. I think it's going to do good numbers. Again, he is going to be against that other sport, the UFC event, but I mean, it's based on boxing. There's a reason why, I'm hoping he's deciding not to push the hour of his event. And so, yeah, man, it's going to be a lot of eyes on Caleb Plant. So, we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, and our guy Derek, shout out to all the people from Pennsylvania, all the people out there in the East Coast. Shout out to our guy Derek who was supporting. He says, I don't see Canelo stopping Plant unless it's a body shot. And if it's a body shot, it'll be round 10. Okay. So he has a lot of belief in Plant. And I just hope this is a great fight. Like you said, Deontay Wilder, his stocks kind of went up even though he got bullied for 3 fights. And there's only one way to do that, showing a lot of heart. I do think Caleb Plant will show a lot of heart in this fight. But will he show as much heart as Callum Smith did? You know, Callum Smith went 12 rounds. He took a beating, maybe won 1 or 2 rounds in that fight. Can Caleb Plant even do that? Can he withstand Canelo's punches? And can he at least pull off a couple rounds in this fight to make it a respectable loss? I know it sounds like we are somewhat disrespecting his boxing skill by writing him off, but there's just nothing in his resume that suggests that he's going to win this fight. Nothing at all. Like I said, last time out, it was a very boring fight with Caleb Truex. He got hurt in that fight. So even in a crazy, crazy world, he will need the craziest outcome to come out on top.